Greetings and welcome to week 2 of ESL W341. I hope you had an opportunity to look at the answers that I posted to the start of semester assessment. If not, please do that. I made a video about it. And bring any questions you have to our Zoom sessions. Secondly, the focus this week is going to be on verb tenses. So verb tenses are what are considered a global error, verb tense errors. There are two kinds of errors, global errors and local errors. Global errors are the big errors that interfere with meaning. The whole first unit in our textbook focuses on different kinds of global errors. So I'm going to give you an example, just in speech, of a global error, a verb tense error, and then of a local error, subject-verb agreement error. And hopefully you can see that the global error causes the listener or the reader to work a lot harder to understand it. So an example of a global error might be, an hour ago, all of my cats came into my room and started sleeping. Now, they still had been sleeping. Okay, so the mistake there is had been sleeping. That's a past perfect progressive. And it doesn't make sense because now indicates present tense. So to correct that, it would be now they are still sleeping. But if I read or heard a sentence like that, now they had still been sleeping, I would have to stop and think and try and then make the guess at what the speaker or writer meant. On the other hand, subject-verb agreement is an example of a local error. Let's see, give you another sentence, and yes, I am looking at my cats. My cats, Rosie and Princess, is sleeping on the bed. Okay, the is incorrect, and it should be are because Rosie and Princess is plural. But you can understand that, hopefully, much more quickly than you can understand an error like the first one, where the verb tense is incorrect. In any case, verb tense is the main focus of this week, and so we're going to be looking at verb tense forms, particularly verb tense consistency, which is when to change verb tense and when not to. There are usually signals in the text, the written or spoken text, that let you know that a switch in verb tense is appropriate. Sometimes you just have to use the context of the entire situation. But to work through this week, look at the pages I've put in the module, and I have linked 2 extra practices on external websites. I'm told one of them does not have the answers, so I'm planning to go through some of those answers in our Zoom meetings this week. But feel free to take a look at those, and the one from Purdue does have answers and is quite good. Read through the material in the assigned pages of the book because it's presented very well, in my opinion, and very clearly. And then you will see that I'm giving you options of how many of the activities to do in this first unit. You can do any of them. That's not quite right. You can do all of them, or you can choose from a list that I gave you. After you've completed those activities, please upload them to Canvas. You can do it any way you want. You can take photos if you've written them by hand in your book. You can type them. You can write them on a separate paper, take photos and upload, but make sure that you do that. And then I'm going to be providing answers to you. And one of your classmates very, very generously agreed to let us use their work to discuss the answers. There's also a learning quiz on verb tense. It's a little bit tricky, especially you'll see there's a section where I have paragraphs and you have to choose the correct verb form. You will see. It might be a little tricky for you. One of them is based on an exercise in our textbook, and the other one I took and made myself directly from a news story, because I want to have some current examples that are real life, not from a textbook. And I will go over the answers to that after everybody has done it. All the work for the week is due Sunday at midnight, except for your initial discussion post, which is going to be due Thursday. I am changing the due dates every week to the discussions. First post due Thursday, responses due Sunday, just to give you a little more time. You've been divided randomly into a group of students, so it's really, really important that you do step 1, making your initial post on time, so that your classmates, group members, have something to respond to. This week, you're just going to be posting an example of some kind of writing that you have done. And give me 1 second. I'm going to go in and look at the directions, read them through. Okay, so your discussion assignment, it's application of verb tense practice. It's task 2.3. It's a small group assignment. You've been assigned to a group of 4 to 5 students. And make sure that you do your initial post in time for your group members to respond. Step 1, look at a piece of writing that you've done. Should be something fairly recent and something that has not been corrected by a teacher. Could be the first draft of an essay you've worked on, a journal would be fantastic, some kind of assignment for another class. I'm asking it should be about 300 words in length. That's equivalent to 1 page double-spaced. If you do not have a piece of writing to use, there are 3 topics on page 29 of your textbook, and you can pick one of those. If you still don't feel comfortable with those topics, I can give you another topic. I have a list of quick write topics, but I think the ones in the book are good. And if you have something for another class, it can be a discussion post for another class. Use that, because I don't want to create extra work for you. Check all of your verbs as carefully as you can, the verb tenses in particular. And then it's good if you copy and paste into the discussion for everybody to read it easily, instead of attaching a document. Just copy and paste from whatever program you wrote it in. Step 2, which is due by Sunday, is to read your group members' posts. Pay special attention to verb use. Comment on each group member's post. If you notice any verb errors, point them out. Please do not mention any other kinds of errors, because we're not focusing on that for this assignment. And also make a positive comment about the writer's work. There's always something you can find that you like. And post that by those, I should say, it's going to be multiple responses, by Sunday at midnight. You get full credit if you've completed both steps on time, and you get an incomplete if you have not completed both steps on time. So again, the grading in this class, it's very easy to get full credit if you do everything on time. If not, it's more difficult. So if you're having problems getting your work done on time, let me know. Okay, come to one of our Zoom meetings. I think you'll find it helpful if you can, if you're available. If not, you can come to my open office hours or simply message me. And fun fact of the week. I'm sharing different fun facts in each class, so it's, I'm going to end up getting confused. The fun fact for this week is that this little finger puppet owl is part of a little collection I have of these animals. And I just think it is super adorable and super cute and fun. And my kitten also thinks it's super adorable and super cute and fun and plays with it kind of like a toy mouse. And so it may get beat up. But this is my buddy, the owl. And I may show you some of my other little stuffed animal friends in the future. Okay, that was silly, but I am silly. And making these recordings, I just miss being able to make jokes and having the whole class laugh, or most of the class laugh, and then hearing the other students' jokes. But just talking, staring at a camera certainly is different, but I can feel your attention through the screen. Sort of, except for, okay, I'm cutting this off now. I'm just being silly. Have a wonderful week and we'll be in touch soon.